Hi there, this is Sherry J from Sherry J Coaching, and I'm joining you from the ocean side in Comox, British Columbia. I'm just going to, this is the seawall that I'm standing beside, and there's the beach. That's Vancouver Island over there. Hornby and Denman Islands, which this story is going to be talking about my journey there. There is the mainland, and then up there is part of Comox. It's an absolutely cool place. So hopefully the ocean is not too loud behind us. I'm wearing my U of Vic sweatshirt that my beautiful niece just gave me. So, the story I'm going to tell you today is my story of overcoming anxiety and fear, and I conquered a huge fear of mine. So I have had generalized anxiety disorder my entire adult life. I probably had it since I was a child when I think about it, but I was diagnosed as an adult and took anti-anxiety meds for most of my life. And I became a life coach late in life to help other people. And I have quite a story of reinvention, of becoming completely disabled and spending years in bed and being told by doctors, you're done for, there's nothing more we can do. And I had quite a journey back to health. And so when I became a life coach, I thought that's the focus of my coaching is going to be health and wellness. And when I finished my 1-year coaching certification, I noticed with my coaching clients that they would have great insights and motivation in sessions and walk away, fully lit up, and then that would dissipate. And I wanted to figure out a way to make it more sticky, when they had that great motivation and insight, excuse me, to make it sticky. And I decided to do a 1-year certification in neurotransformational coaching, which is the neuroscience behind coaching, tools rooted in neuroscience. I have a degree in psychology. My favorite subject was neuroscience back in the 80s. So it's like full circle back to my passion. And I work with my clients for them to discover their passion and live their purpose. And here I am finally doing it later in life. But in the neuroscience coaching, I learned all these tools to learn to regulate my nervous system and learn to deal with anxiety and overwhelm and fear and to walk forward with courage. So I went to Denman and Hornby Islands, which are right behind me, and I was going to park my car and walk on the ferry with my bike and do a island hopping adventure with my friend. And I got to the ferry terminal and there was no parking spots. Buckley Bay has very few parking spots. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna drive the car on the ferry. Well, my anxiety is worse. You might think this is weird, but flying, public transport, airplanes, trains, ferries, I have massive anxiety and panic attacks, and I have to take, so I used to be on meds until I learned to regulate my nervous system. When I would take any form of public transport, I would have to double or triple my meds for days ahead of time in order to do it, and then I'd feel groggy for days afterwards, and I travel and not really make much sense because I was so out of it. So now I travel without, but I've never driven on a ferry. So here I did it. I sat in line for 30 minutes a few times, and my anxiety starts in my gut and it just comes up and takes over my whole body. I drew a picture of this and put it on Instagram of me as a teeny tiny figure, and the fear and anxiety is this massive red cape that enveloped me and stopped me from, well, I allowed it to stop me from living my life and taking so many opportunities. I allowed it to take the driver's seat. So as I sat in line, I had a few moments of, and I'm gonna just turn around here, I had a few moments of feeling that anxiety rising up, and the minute I felt it, I asked myself, what do you want to feel instead? I did my breathing exercises. I did everything I've learned to regulate my nervous system, and I was able to quash it, keep it down there. Drove on the ferry. I told myself this is no different than driving into a parking garage. Once I got on the ferry, it was a bit weird because you're in your car on a moving boat and you see the ocean moving, and it's like a disequilibrium. And but I just kept doing, what do you want instead? I want to feel calm, I want to feel confident. Breathe, kept that anxiety in a little tiny place and pushed it away. and ended up having a fabulous day with my friend. We took another ferry to Hornby, went through similar feelings with no medicine. Kind of having a little panic, like, oh my god, I'm 2 islands away from the mainland. Just talked myself through it, and then drove the ferry back onto this side. So I was exhausted, so very proud of myself. And in my picture I put on Instagram, it's me on the boat. I actually wanted to make myself giant because I feel like I'm on top of the world now. You know, I flew out here without medicine. I'm taking trains without medicine. I'm doing all kinds of things that I find fearful by learning to regulate and control my nervous system. I send out the parachute and I go into parasympathetic, and I'm able to do it. So I wanted to share my success story with you. And if you're going through anything like this and you want to have an exploratory conversation to see if my coaching might be right for you, please reach out. I do a complimentary first session so that we can make sure that we are a good fit for coaching and that the kind of coaching I do is right for you. So that's my story, all the way up and down the beach. Say goodbye so you can see the ocean once again, Denman and Hornby Island. I hope wherever you are in the world, you're having a fabulous day, and I will be back soon.